All right, everybody, you and me back together again at last on this Wednesday, and it's already starting to be lovely. Seriously, Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. Let's talk. So what's going on? Stock trading doesn't start for about 35 minutes. Stock futures are higher, pointing towards more gains. I just said several days ago, with all these bears out here, the stock market's more than likely going higher. And that's what's going on here. I mean, always take the opposite side of what the crowd is saying. The crowd is usually wrong. Time and time again, when you got people out here screaming from rooftops that the market's about to melt down, in this environment of easy money, you got to really you got to sit back and say, what's going on here? I don't know where people are getting this kind of information. Nothing matters here. It's all about debt expansion. The market, yeah, it's in a bubble. An epic bubble. The biggest bubble we've ever seen in the history of the world. It's across the spectrum. I mean, we're in a housing bubble, which is pretty epic. In fact, it's massive. Stock market bubble, debt bubble, like nothing we've ever seen before. Inverse bubbles, we'll talk about that in a moment. I mean, you can go on and on here. But what would you expect in this kind of environment? So yeah, let's cover this again. So yeah, stock futures pointing towards gains at the open. You got cryptocurrencies flat. Silver getting pounded. It's down about 4%. Gold under pressure right now. Dollar slightly higher. Crude oil catching a bid. 10-year yield 0.67. Stuck in that range. But they did float out some positive news on the vaccine. Yeah, rah, rah, rah. It's tremendous. It's fantastic. Yeah, Johnson & Johnson, late stage. So they're going to be getting ready to distribute this somehow. And of course, that's obviously playing into why the market is somewhat higher here. So again, that's the scenario. But we found out something else kind of interesting. So the Pentagon got a $1 billion pandemic budget, to fight the pandemic. What they did with that cash is they bought aircraft engine parts with it because we're in a crisis. We are. It's the pandemic coronavirus. The vaccine's ready, but no, yeah, they thought engine parts were more important than helping out with. Look, people, first of all, it's a scam. Number two, we've never seen government corruption like this before from the top down. This is so sick. Again, it's a move towards a new system. I think we all know that. It's the truth. Anyway, look, going back to the pounding on silver here right now, you know how this works. This is the derivative. The derivative drives the price of the physical asset. It's flipped upside down. It's kind of like Apple stock. I always use it as an example. If the derivative of Apple stock was driving the actual stock, it's a mechanism here. The way they have it set up, that with regard to precious metals, it's so twisted. The derivative is what prices the hard asset. Usually it's supposed to be the hard asset pricing the derivative. But no. This is being done to rig the markets. I've explained this since time immemorial, and it will never stop. I just want to know seriously how they can get away with this for all of these years. But again, if you're one of the biggest banks in the world, JP Morgan, who's been caught, again, one of the banks here involved in misappropriating trillions of dollars. You can do anything you want to do at any time and not get in any trouble for it, because believe me, no one's going to talk about it. The president won't talk about it. Members of Congress won't even talk about it. This is a big hush-hush. And they're all getting paid off, all of them. That's just the way this whole thing goes. It's so sick. But again, look, let them play their game. We're going to play our game. With regard to metals, nothing changes here. Good. Let them pound it. Let them pound metals wherever they want to do. Because the end game here is to inflate on an epic scale. So we're taking the opposite side of that trade. This is opportunity to me. Okay? Let them pound cryptos if they want to. Let them pound gold and silver. That's fine too. Let them do whatever they want to do with the stock market. You and I cannot be beaten. It's impossible. We got this thing covered from every single angle you can imagine. So I love it. I love when they do this kind of stuff. It just makes me smile more. Look. You like that? Yeah, that's what Greg Mannarino does when he sees this kind of stuff. Nothing will sway me from adding to my positions of physical gold, physical silver, and cryptocurrencies in this environment. Nothing whatsoever. Because it's so twisted, and we haven't seen anything yet with regard to what central banks are about to do. Nothing. I mean, believe me, more eye-popping mechanisms are going to come out of the woodwork here. More bailouts here for multinational corporations, backdoor bailouts, front door bailouts. While, again, small businesses, remember what Jay Powell said yesterday, it's hard to lend to small businesses, but they can, of course, do whatever they want to do. And the Federal Reserve, as you all know, I told you this yesterday, they can lend to anyone they want for any reason with no oversight. They want to sponsor terrorism, they can do that. They want to fund wars around the world, they can do that. Anything at all. But it's hard. It's hard to help U.S. small businesses. Yeah, it's hard to help U.S. small businesses when you're trying to destroy them, when you're trying to eliminate the middle class. This is what we are in, people. I really hope you understand that. I don't think some of you still don't get the plan here. The bigger plan, the Fed to become the lender and buyer of last resort, to own the world, to destroy the middle class, create a feudal system, extreme haves, extreme have-nots. And with regard to this market, they're gonna reverse this at one point. That's gonna be the final stage. So all of you that are so happy about those 401k plans, you're gonna be weeping your way to the bank as you got wiped out, because that's the setup here. The setup is a complete, total wipeout of investments that only make money when the stock market goes up. You're locked in. You can't do a damn thing about it. Anyway, all right, look, I think this video has been pretty important. Please share it, get it out there. And you and I, we will reconvene right here in this exact lovely spot later on today. See you later.